inverter. So this will be having two sets of converter. One is connected at the source side, another one is connected at the load side. So based upon the load angles or the thyristor angles, the firing angle thyristor angles, we can make the connection such that which one will be acts as a uh, so which one is acts like a rectifier and which one is acts like a inverter. So based upon that, the performance and analysis that we have discussed, and in this session we are going to I'm going to deal with the closed loop speed control of a load commutated inverter synchronous motor drive. So the closed loop speed control here, this will be having one inner current inner current loop inner current loop and outer speed control loop. The two loops will be here. One is at inner current control loop and outer speed control loop. So that we have to decide. And the main source blocks, the main blocks that system is having are source side converter, current side converter, and the current limiter, speed controller. So followed by the load side converter, this source side converter, and the load side converter. So source side converter is acts like a rectifier, and load side converter is acts like a inverter. And followed for these two converters, we need to supply a firing angles in order to turn on of the thyristors. Okay, so these firing angles will be supplied by a current controller firing circuits. So different firing circuits, 1 and 2, and followed by the delay angles, the current limiter, speed limiter, here the phase delay, and followed by the terminal voltage sensor. So terminal voltage sensor used to sense the voltages in order to measure the voltages. So for that we will be having different sensors. Okay, and the procedure is follows like this. So this closed loop speed controller of a load commutated inverter. So the commutation will be done by using our load currents. So we have different techniques in order to turn on and turn off of the thyristors. So turn off of the thyristor is nothing but our commutation of the thyristor. So the commutation will be done by our load. Okay, so here we are having two loops, inner current control loop and outer speed control loop. So the terminal voltage sensor, here we are having one voltage sensor. So the terminal voltage sensor, this generates a reference pulses, so which are suitable to obtain control at a constant commutation lead angle beta h. So what does it means? So we have terminal voltage sensor. So this terminal voltage sensor generates one reference signal. So that is here. So this is our reference signal that is generated by using terminal voltage sensor. So this reference pulses of the same frequency as that of the machine induced voltage. So this frequency and machine induced frequency both are compared in the phase delay circuit. So this phase delay circuit shifts the reference pulses suitably to obtain control of a constant commutation lead angle. So the frequency signal, the frequencies that we are obtained from the terminal voltage sensor and directly from the phase terminal voltage. So these are compared in the phase delay circuits. So in the phase delay circuits, what happens? Shifts the reference pulses suitably. The reference pulses that we are obtained from the terminal voltage sensor. So that reference signal and the references that we obtained from the terminal voltage, so these are maintained through a lead angle beta LC. Beta LC is our one commutation lead angle. So depending upon the sign of the speed error, whether maybe it is positive or negative. So depending upon the sign of that speed error, the beta LC is set to provide motoring or braking operation. So if it is provide positive, so take it as a motoring action. and if it is beta, the speed error is negative, take it as a braking operation. So like that. So depending upon the sign of the speed error. Actually, I have sign SIGN, not SINE. Okay, and speed omega m. The speed omega m, that is angular speed. So the angular speed, that is omega m. So this can be sensed either from the terminal voltage sensor or from a separate tachometer. So omega m, so that omega m, the omega m. So here I have mentioned on omega m the error. So this omega m that we got here. So this omega m can be measured using terminal voltage sensor, or else you can place one tachometer in order to measure the speed. So through the tachometer, we can measure the speed, right? So from that, we can give the input to our speed sensor, speed of the motor. So this is the speed of the motor that we got from the terminal voltage sensor, or else from a tachometer that we can connect externally. Okay. And here an increase in reference speed omega m produces a partial speed error. So here, if you keep on increase the speed error will be positive. If you keep on decrease the speed error will be negative. So that's what I said here. So increase in a reference speed omega m, that produces a positive speed error. Similarly, decrease in reference speed omega m, it similarly produces a negative speed error. So a speed controller and a current limiter set the DC link current. Okay. A speed controller and a current limiter. So here we are having speed controller and current limiter. So these speed controller and current limiter produces the value of speed controller and current limiter, which is set by using our DC link current references. So for the maximum permissible values, right? So the speed controller, here the speed controller and the current limiter, the speed controller and the current limiter. So which sets the DC link current references. So these two sets the reference values in the DC link, and which should be at the maximum permissible values. At the maximum permissible values, using the reference set of values in the DC link, the speed controller and the current limiter set one standard values. So starting, what happens? The machine starts accelerating. So when during speed, when the machine accelerates fast and when close to the desired speed. So normally what happens? The machine starts accelerating. So after getting enough speed, that is after getting enough desired speed, the current limiter desaturates. So before it is saturated, in order to accelerate, or in order to obtain the fast speed. So after getting desired speed, the current limiter desaturates. The current limiter desaturates, and here in order to reduction in the references values. This is of the acceleration. Similarly, in the reduction in a reference speed produces a negative speed error. So increase in positive speed, increase in the speed produces positive speed error. Similarly, here decrease in the or reduction in the reference values produces a negative speed error. So when the negative speed error takes place, at that time beta LC converted into regenerative braking. So before that, beta LC was produced due to the positive speed error. So now beta LC produced because of the negative speed error. So when negative speed error takes place, regenerative braking takes place. Regenerative braking of operation takes place. So so because of the regenerative, what happens? The motor starts decelerates. Motor starts decelerates. So when speed error changes sign, beta LC, that is from positive to negative, the motoring action converted into braking action. So after that, the motor is set into one desired speed value. So this is how actually the inner current closed loop and outer speed control loop. So this is about inner current control loop and this is about outer speed control loop works. Right? So here the speed controller and current limiter set the DC link current reference at the maximum permissible values. So this is the working and operation of our closed loop models. So one thing you people need to remember, a compulsory 1 or 2 questions must or might come from the closed loop speed control strategies. So don't get confused with this. So we have studied 3 to 4 speed control strategies in our induction motor, in our different VSI and CSI. So similarly here also we are having one speed control loop for load commutated thyristor inverter synchronous motor drive. Block the operation same irutte. Only thing is, so the operation of speed controller is same, operation of current controller limiter is same, firing circuit same, load set converter, source set converter. So the operation remains same, but the application where we are using, whether we are using at induction motor or at the synchronous motor, that differs. So the next thing is about starting. So starting of large synchronous motors. So the starting of large synchronous motors. So similarly we have studied starting of induction motor, starting and braking or speed control of synchronous motor. So similarly here we are having only starting, because synchronous motors cannot start as it is. They cannot start by their own. So we need some different starting techniques. So if the synchronous motors are very large, there are some procedures. So as I told that synchronous motor are of 2 types. One is self-controlled, another one is true synchronous motor, true control. Right? So when operating with a self-control, the starting current is low. So what happens? So when the motor is starting at self-control mode, the starting current required is very less. So if the starting current is very less, the torque is also very less. So torque is very high compared to DOL starting to an induction motor. So when compared to induction motor, here in the synchronous motor what happens? The starting torque is high. So the starting current is low. Here, if because of the low amount of starting current, what happens? In the synchronous motor, the torque is very high. The torque is very high. So DOL. So what is meant by DOL? Direct online. So we have different starting techniques. So direct online starting. So in the direct online starting, what happens? We are directly giving supply into the stator of the motor. So stator of the motor gets supply direct. So that will be changed in the DOL start, right? So because of this, the self-control of an synchronous motor employed for starting of the large synchronous machine is gas turbine and pumped storage power plants. So if you are using a DOL starter, if you are using a DOL starter in the large synchronous machine, what happens? The self-control of starting of the synchronous motor is done by the gas turbine and pumped storage power plants. So the gas storage plants and as well as pumped storage power plants ali now this kind of large synchronous motor starting will be placed. This kind of equipments or strategy will be placed. So from the standstill to 10% of the base speed inverter, so that will be operated in pulse mode. So here, so we have, so this is our load commutated inverter. The inverter is fed with the load. So from like this modules. So the modules like the synchronous motor with the load commutated inverter. So in these figures, what happens? From standstill to 10% of base speed inverter. So standstill. So standstill is nothing but a motor is at rest. So from this rest position to 10% of the base speed. So from the rest position into 10% of the base speed, what happens? Inverter is operated in pulse mode. So here in the pulse mode operation, what happens? The induced voltages are not sufficient to commutate the thyristor. So if the motor is operating from standstill to 10% of the base speed, the inverter is operated in the pulse mode. So the pulse mode, in the pulse mode, what happens? The voltage is not sufficient to commutate the thyristor. We need some desired amount of voltage in order to commutate the thyristor. So in the pulse mode operation, that amount, the required amount of voltage is not sufficient. Okay. So if the above 10% of the base speed to synchronous motor, the inverter operates with a load commutation. So if the motor is operating with the base speed of above 10%, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಕ್ರನಸ್ ಮೋಟಾರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಬೇಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರದ್ದು 10% ನೀವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ 0 to 10% of that base speed, the inverter is not going to commutate. So if you are operating above the 10% of the base speed, what happens? The inverter operates with the load commutation because it gets desired amount of current. So below 10%, the motor may not give enough current to inverter in order to turn off. But above 10% of the base speed, what happens? The load may accelerates. And it gives enough current. It gives enough current to the inverter in order to turn off. So that is done by the principle of load commutation. So when machine is switched into mains and inverter is disconnected. So here what happens? If you get enough desired amount of speed, so at that time, after the synchronization, after the machine, the synchronous machine gets synchronized, then machine is switched into mains and inverter is disconnected. So this whole procedure looks like expensive. So this such a method of starting with the number of synchronous motions times share a common inverter. So different synchronous machines you can take. So for example, three synchronous machines towarding, but for these three synchronous machine, the inverter will be common. So keep the inverter common for multi-synchronous machines. So for such machines, it will be economic. Okay. So this is one method of starting large synchronous machine. So actually ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ base speed na calculate ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So below 10%, above 10%. So if you are operating the synchronous machine in the self-control mode, the starting current is very low. So if the starting current is very low, automatically the starting current is high when compared to dual starting of an induction motor. So normally these kind of large set of starting synchronous machine will be done placed in a gas turbines with the pumped storage power plants. Pumped storage power plants are nothing but you have to pump the fluid, whether maybe it is the water or a diesel, the fluid that we are using as our energy combustion. So you have to pump it to some storage plants. So that is nothing but a pumped storage power plants. So if you are operating the machine in between the 0 speed and below the 10% of the base speed, at that time you may not get. At that time, the operation is done at the pulsed mode of operation. So in the pulsed mode of operation, the you cannot get desired amount of voltage in order to commute our inverter. So if you want to get that enough amount of voltage in order to accommodate that inverter, you have to operate at more than 10% of the base speed. So if you are operating at that desired speed, what happens? The load is get synchronized. The machine is get synchronized with the actual synchronous speed. So after synchronization, what happens? Inverter is get turned off. So here the machine is switched into mains and inverter is disconnected. So if the inverter is disconnected, then it is actually you can declare that the machine is started. The machine is started. So that's the thing about starting off a large synchronous machine. Those numbers. 6. So the next thing is our next topic is permanent magnet AC motor types. So till now we have studied the synchronous motors. So here the one more extra added is permanent magnet. So permanent magnet synchronous motors are commonly called as permanent magnet AC motors. So excitation for the excitation purpose, we are placing a permanent magnet in the synchronous motors. So that permanent magnet synchronous motors are termed as permanent magnet AC motors. So here they are classified based upon the nature of voltage induced in the stator. So whether it is sinusoidal or non-sinusoidal or excited, non-excited, or whether maybe it is a trapezoidal or rectangular. So like that, the nature of the supply. So the nature of the supply, nature of the voltage that is induced in our stator of the motor. So based upon that, the permanent magnets are classified. That is, it is a permanent sinusoidally excited or trapezoidally excited. So permanent magnet AC motors or permanent magnet synchronous motors are classified into two types: sinusoidally excited and trapezoidally excited. So how we can nomenclate this sinusoidal or trapezoidal? Because this is the nature of the voltage that is supplied into our stator of the motor, stator of the synchronous motor. Okay. So if it has sinusoidal, so if it is if our motor has sinusoidal waveform, so first it will be having a so sinusoidally excited. So if you say sinusoidally excited, that means we are getting sinusoidal waveform of voltage. And similarly, if you are say trapezoidally excited, that means the induced voltage has trapezoidal waveform. So sinusoidal waveform with supply voltage sinusoidal waveform ittu antandre that is sinusoidally excited, and if our induced voltage is having trapezoidal waveform, then that means trapezoidal excited. So these permanent magnet motors, permanent magnet AC motors are commonly known as sinusoidal PMAC and trapezoidal PMAC motors. So sinusoidal PMAC motors and trapezoidal PMAC motors. Sinusoidal PMAC motors, trapezoidal PMAC motors. So this is how we can give the nomenclatures. So here a sinusoidal PMAC motor has a distributed winding in the stator. So we have different types of windings. So you studied in the machine subject as well as in our drawing subject. So what are the different types of winding? If anyone can say, what are the different types of winding? So distributed winding. So wound field synchronous motors will be having distributed winding. complexed or conjugated type of winding, then distributed winding. Okay, two types of winding. So here the rotor poles. The rotor poles are shaped that the voltage induced in a stator phase has sinusoidal waveform. So in order to get the sinusoidal waveform, the permanent magnet AC motors are constructed such that the rotor poles. So motor will be having stator and rotor. So in the rotor poles are made to voltage induced in the stator phase, which is having similar to that of a sinusoidal waveform. So similarly, this is about rotor poles. Similarly, a stator of a trapezoidal PMAC and stator of sinusoidal PMAC. So in the stator of a trapezoidal PMAC motor, so it is having concentrated windings and rotated with a wide pole arc. So I am explaining about the construction of PMAC motors. So distributed winding, concentrated winding. So sinusoidal PMAC motor is having distributed winding type of stator, but trapezoidal PMAC motor will be having concentrated type of winding in the stator. And the rotor poles are having wide pole arc. This is about construction of trapezoidal type of PMAC motor. Okay. So the speed. So this is about the construction. The stator and rotor of about PMAC motor, sinusoidal PMAC motor and trapezoidal PMAC motor. So similarly that the speed of an PMAC motor is controlled by feeding from variable frequency voltages or currents. So the PMAC, so permanent magnet. So the permanent magnet will be having the speed of the motor. So that will be controlled okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We'll be back. 1 minute. Okay. So here the speed. Yeah. Here I am talking about the speed. So the speed of a PMAC motor is controlled by feeding from a variable frequency or a voltage or control. So we have studied that variable frequency voltage or variable frequency current drives. So from the variable frequency or from the variable voltage things, we are going to control the speed of an PMAC motor. Okay. So the speed actually they are operated in the self-control mode. So the whole procedure that I am talking about is called as a self-control mode. So here the rotor position sensors are employed for the operation in self-control mode. The rotor position sensors. So this is very important in self-control motor drives. So here they are provided with the rotor position sensors for controlling in the synchronous motor in self-control mode. And alternatively, we can use the self-control mode of operation. So different inverter or converter circuits for a PMAC motor. So so that they are provided, the current trend is used to MOSFET. So here we are using MOSFET. So the MOSFET is for low voltage and low power applications. And if you are using other than the low voltage or low power application, we can use IGBT. So that technology, that current technology, that what we are having is we are using MOSFET for low voltage and low power operation, and similarly IGBT for high voltage and high power operation. So we are placing rotor position sensors in order to operate the motors in a self-control mode. So this self-control mode operations drives employing a trapezoidal PMEC motor, or now we can call it as a brushless DC motor drives. So the topics that we have studied, the self-controlled variable frequency drives employing with a trapezoidal PMAC motor, self-controlled variable frequency drives employing trapezoidal PMAC motors. So this whole thing is called as brushless DC motors. So that is simple. If you understand the concept of permanent magnet AC motors, or else synchronous motors, or else the synchronous motors with the permanent magnet with synchronous motors. So these are with the trapezoidal employees. So trapezoidal. So as I told us, trapezoidal frequency, frequency drives employing trapezoidal PMEC motor. Nothing but you are injecting the voltage into your stator in trapezoidal waveform. So the AC motor, the permanent magnet AC motor or synchronous motor, will be having stator. So this stator is injecting or getting a voltage. So that voltage is in trapezoidal waveform. So the self-controlled variable frequency drives with having a trapezoidal PMEC motor is called as brushless DC drives, or also you can call it as trapezoidal PMEC motor drives. So in your examination, they may directly ask like permanent magnet AC motor drives. Explain a short about the permanent magnet AC motor drives, or also they can call it as brushless DC motor drives, trapezoidal PMEC motor drives. Okay. The next thing is about sinusoidal PMEC motors. So till now I have discussed about trapezoidal PMEC motors. So next I will discuss about sinusoidal PMEC motor drives. So that I am going to discuss in the next session. It's enough now. So it will be having some phasor diagrams and also with some numericals. So I need one more class for that. So if it will be discontinued. So that's why I will start freshly on next session about that. So why the strength is very less?